up in here. We not queer, we don't care. We gonna break a reindeer's neck. We crazy as heck. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, what's up, everybody? We're gonna get right into it. It's the AEW review. I don't know, man. I'm down with this. This is my new theme music. I like this song. This is my new entrance music if I ever get hired. For anybody. If I'm working the indies, I'm coming out to this. I'm coming out. If I work the indies ever again, I jump back in the ring, I'm working this. Look at this. You about to step into the ring with Joe. He's gonna break your nose. He's gonna cut your throat. He's gonna end you though. He's gonna collect the dough. He's gonna smack you with a rock across your eyeball, bitch. He's crazy. I don't know. I'm gonna make a weird rap song and come out. Bask. Anyway, I'm down with this beat. This is surprising.
I'm digging it. I like it.
I picked this at random.
It's good. I like it.
California. You can almost say anything over this and it sounds good. You can say anything over this. You could be like, OJ Simpson is God. Like anything. Like it would just be great.
I think that Joe Mom, your mom's hot.
Yeah, anything. Jake's in the hospital again. No, he's here. All right. So AEW.
Dead.
We're gonna do the AEW review right now.
Speaking of who's dead, Cody. My God, they killed him.
You okay?
They wanted to make sure that they put over Brodie Lee as much as possible.
Cody's dead. I guess let's talk about that first. I know that's weird. Normally we start at the beginning, we go to the end. Let's just start off with this because, quite frankly, it's the best thing and only thing from the show that really mattered that much anyway.
It's the only takeaway besides the fact that Tully Blanchard is with FTR, which I think is cool. Nice little addition there. Makes sense. There was really nothing else to take away from this. The announcement that Jericho is going to have another match with Orange Cassidy in the Mimosa Mayhem match or whatever it is.
By the way, that comes on the heels of the Mimosa comments in the community here recently, which is bizarre. Like, is Jericho
We've been saying it for weeks now? With you combine the two, obviously.
What is going on? And Leah, my wife, comes down right as I'm watching at that part and is like, "Are you serious?" Like Mimosa. She's like, "Wow," and I'm like, "Well, AEW's been great," and she's like, "So did it just get stupid when I came in the room or whatever?" And I'm like, "No, it's been great. It's great. It's a Mimosa match." I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's okay.
This would have been shocking had I not heard the spoilers. The original spoilers I heard were wrong. They said that Redbeard, what's his name, Eric Rowan, debuted and went ahead and helped Brodie Lee win the title. Now that was fake, but the later confirmed to me was, oh no, Brodie Lee did win. It just wasn't with the help of, anyone debuting. I said, all right, so they wanted a big night for the Dark Order. They certainly did that. Cody got in what? Zero offense almost.
The other thing about that is I was spoiled too. So I unfortunately I was spoiled. But for some reason I kept thinking that he gets basically clobbered right away and loses. But that's not what happened. Like I was under the impression it was a squash, like a full squash. Like right away he gets hit and he gets super kicked and loses. That's what I thought was about to happen, and so I didn't expect him to come out fighting, them to build it like every other match, and then all of a sudden he just never. What I'm trying to say is the way they did it was super believable. So this was the best thing about the night. Because it reminded me of a UFC fighter, very similar to recently with Sean O'Malley. The guy is just dominating. He's confident. He's talking crazy trash everywhere. He's really good and dangerous. He gets in there, but the fact of the matter is sometimes there's a mistake made or something happens and you can never recover and you end up losing and it's a shock. But it's not just a WWE Brock Lesnar, oh my God, he charges him, smashes him, and then wins. And I know that they've done this version of it too, but the way they did it was super believable with Cody.
It was very effective, and it was thrown together properly. Like you said, it was easy to suspend disbelief because it's not even just getting to the finish, but you figure Cody initially gets in like a little bit of offense, not much, and that was it.
Right.
Brodie Lee hits him with like a big drop kick. I'm trying to recall. I watched this on Sunday, and then I remember he hits him with like big boot to the outside, gets that half and half suplex, gets the German, and then I remember Orange like trying to build up Cody, like you can do this, and then he hits that huge jackknife power bomb, completely folds Cody in half, gets a second one, and then all of a sudden he hits that huge discus lariat, the clothesline from hell, and that was it. And the way he hit him in his neck and the fact that they had to give him oxygen made it seem like, oh God, he can't breathe, and I almost wish that they just ushered him away at the end rather than destroy him on the stretcher, just because then you'd be like, oh wow, it is a legit injury, and they could sell it a bit more, because obviously if you're attacking somebody on the stretcher, it's a full work. But the way they did it, it was so poignant and strong for the Dark Order. This is the group that I've been waiting to see for some time now.
Yeah, this is it's kind of like MVP like leading that stupid group in WWE. You're like, do you want him to be the guy who's the champion? But Brodie Lee is a fresh, in his prime, big guy, and he couldn't even win, and neither could the Dark Order. So they needed this, and they did it well. I normally would have said I wouldn't have done this. I would have kept Cody rolling with the belt. But this
was unexpected, too, because Cody has had so many dominant performances and great wins. Eddie Kingston and was even one of the matches where the first time I felt like maybe something could happen. Maybe Cody might lose, but even then it was just a very slight inkling. But this match, it was just a total shock. It was like, wow, they beat him senseless. I didn't think Cody was going to have a problem to win this until I heard the spoilers, obviously. But I figured Cody would retain because he's done so well up until this point.
Well, that's the other thing about the spoilers is I got spoiled, but the spoilers were like, oh, Cody gets destroyed real quick, and it's crazy that they did that. But there was so much more to it that wasn't in the spoilers, like him he came at Brodie Lee, then he gets thrown over the top horrifically, then he gets thrown into the guardrail and grabs his arm. So that, like, the story built in that match really quickly that, wow, like you made a few mistakes, and then there was one unfortunate thing where you got your elbow smashed, and the elbow getting hurt was very key, man. So this was really methodical to me and well done. Like, I'm serious, this was well done. Like, it's what and then the ending, like you said, I was the same way. Like, I was kind of hoping like, okay, Brodie will just hold the title up and that's it, we're gonna go off the air. I'm like, I hope they don't go with the whole now the Dark Order is gonna beat up the guy who's injured. But then they did it. But then the way they did it was so good that I changed my mind and went, I'm glad they did that.
They dumped everybody out on the outside. Oh, now they're attacking everybody. The entire Nightmare family is in pieces, and there's nothing but destruction and rubble left in their wake. QT Marshall and Dustin were just dumped out onto the stage. Brandy comes out and she covers up Cody's body, laying on top of him, and that's when Brodie Lee just kind of snaps her points. I forget exactly what he did at that point, but he summons Anna J, and she comes over and chokes her out. And Brandy did a hell of a sell job there too. I'm like, wow, she looks like she's going out there. She's going unconscious. So
yeah, it was good.
It was a good way to see the Dark Order stand tall finally, and hopefully they can use this momentum, use this as a catalyst to really change the tide that is the Dark Order. Because on being the elite, they have all this charisma. They're funny. They're entertaining. They have the comedy, but they have the serious side too. So I wonder why we can't see more of that on TV.
And I'm more of like, I don't really care if the Dark Order, at times is weaker or stronger or whatever. I don't care about all that. But what I do care about is a good story or a good, just a good entertainment. And right now, this was super entertaining. And how is Cody going to get back and what's going to happen? Like, that's all there. And now Brodie Lee's a monster. Like, so this is entertaining the hell out of me. I thought it was great.
See, with your point, you're making a great point too. And to kind of jump off and add to what you're saying, you got me going here. It makes a great deal of sense because I know what you're saying. You don't really care, like, oh, they don't have to be a dominant team. That's something I prefer.
But they shouldn't also be a losing, like like they've been really bad. Like it's
no, exactly. They shouldn't be this trash either. But the thing is, to me, it doesn't even absolutely have to be like, oh, if they're going out there and they're losing, okay, if it makes sense in this, the vein of the story. But that's not what we've been getting with them. They've been getting destroyed week in and week out by Jungle Express and the Elite, and just group after group after group has torn them down and just beaten them senseless and defiled their numbers when they should have the advantage constantly because there's so many members in the Dark Order. They should be, like a swarm of bees, where there's just too many for you to, overcome. That's how this should be handled, but we don't see that. And that's why at the end, when you had that swarm and you saw all the destruction, you saw the bodies lying there and even Brandy getting attacked, it was powerful. It was a good story. That's what we need more of.
It was exciting. Right. It was exciting. It was chaotic. And
especially after such a bland tag team filled show that really didn't go anywhere for the most part. I felt like it dragged for the night. Yeah. This was a very good and unexpected ending.
I also found it hilarious when they beat the shit out of Arn Anderson. Somebody gave him a right hand that was hilarious. He just got waffled. It was really funny. In a good way.
Yeah.
It looked like someone just smacked the hell out of Arn Anderson.
And I like that Brodie Lee produced the old title all smashed to bits in that black bag and dumped it. Said, "It's here. I told you I'd bring it back to you."
Yeah, and when he hit him with it, I didn't think about it. When he hit him with it, I was like, "What the hell was that?" And that could have been dangerous. I wonder if it wasn't really the bag when he dumped it out. It was something different because I don't know,
sharp pieces.
One of those shards hit him in the head. It looked great when he hit him with the bag, and then you heard the big ting, the noise. That was really good. It looked good. It sounded good. I thought the announcers maybe could have sold it a little better. I think somebody said, he hit him with that bag, and then someone says, well, you got to wonder what was really in there, or what's in that bag, and they were like, yeah. But, I would have sold it more good Lord, did you hear the sound of what the hell's in that bag? And, could have been a brick. It could be... it could be steel, it could be it could be nails. I don't know what he just, and they kind of I would have oversold it, but they undersold it a little bit. But anyway, the whole thing was done really well. It doesn't matter. JR, the more I listen to JR, and I know that people have, been critical of him, and we've been critical of them too. But when you look at the WWE's commentary team, it is just so piss poor. WWE's commentary is so enraging to me at this point, and even NXT at this point, announced team is enraging to me, that this AEW announced team, they appear to be insanely good because of how bad WWE was this past week. And after watching WWE for a whole week and NXT for a whole week and missing AEW for the first time since they started, hearing this commentary was a super breath of fresh air, and JR just brings, I don't care if he is a step behind or he's old or people think he's missed a step, and sometimes he is a little bit off compared to how he used to be, but the fact of the matter is JR at friggin' 80% is better than anything the WWE is doing, and his voice. And we
saw that with SummerSlam last night, or Raw, last night and SummerSlam the night before. It was just so terrible.
Oh my God! The announcing in WWE is a mess right now. I want to choke myself.
Had some good announcing moments for the show. I'll give them that. It's been noticeably different. I won't say for the better or worse without Excalibur, but I think they're trying to figure out their place still, and to see where everyone can adapt and mold towards, and that's kind of harming them in this process. But they're still doing okay.
Yeah.
They're just not exactly sure what their roles are supposed to be since it switches so often. At one point, Taz is the heel and going in on people. Then next he's a manager. And then he's got to go to this play-by-play. Then he's a little bit of a face and then a little bit of color. It's weird.
I do think it's a little weird with Taz. I think that maybe, I wish to God that they had a full-time heel on WWE, NXT, and I wish they had a heel in AEW. AEW, whenever you're ready to hire me, you morons, I'm right here. I'm sitting in Boston. A waste of talent, you idiots. But Taz is, as weird as it is, that 1 minute Taz is glorifying his buddies beating up somebody, then the next minute he's worried about Cody Rhodes. That's a little strange, I will say that. However,
yeah, he's going on about, the Pistons.
But even though it is weird that 1 minute Taz is concerned about Cody's condition, yet another minute he couldn't care if Darby Allin was murdered, Taz is really pulling that off, though. I don't know why, but I sat there and I said that. I was like, this is a little ridiculous that Taz is worried about this, and he's heel, and he's face, but he's not. He's tweening. He's all over the place. for whatever reason, and listen, I was never a big Taz fan as an announcer, although Taz has a great voice, and I love I love when he gives his opinions on things. But he really did a great job. He really did for being ridiculous and having to be 3 different styles of commentary or personality on AEW. Taz, that's pretty good. What Taz did was pretty damn good. I gotta.
Multifaceted, and he switches between roles quite well. It's just a bit jarring that he's playing these various roles.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, but it's impressive that he.
Well, I know you said the Cody stuff was your favorite of the night, correct?
Yeah, I would say Cody. The Cody stuff, the Cody thing was the best thing for me of the night. Yeah,
my favorite. Honestly, I don't even have like a full valid answer as to exactly why, but it just struck a chord with me and resonated.
Darby
after the 8-man tag that I really didn't care for, seeing Eddie Kingston walk out and everything that he said there, he was so I know it sounds cringy like to keep saying real, but he was so real in that moment with what he was saying that I felt like he was speaking to me directly.
Because he said because what he did was, what Eddie Kingston does is, he's allowed to go out there and pretty much say what he wants, but they all talk about what he should be doing, and then he says what I think I'm going to do. Then he goes out there and does it, because what he's doing is he's going out and saying what he really would say potentially to his friends or to people he knows if they're in this situation. So he's just being like, what would you really do if we were really doing this? Well, he's going out there and doing that, as opposed to a writer in the back somewhere going, I have an idea of what you need to go out there and you can say this to these guys. See, the WWE version of that would have been like, come on, man, I've known you a long time. You're better than this. You can be better. And
I remember when your dream was to be in the company. Yeah. As where Eddie's talking about how they scraped and clawed and sacrificed everything on the indies and all the history they have together and how they need to unite to make themselves, get ahead in this life. And now we have a new faction.
And I think it could be something. I'm not happy with that. There's too many factions to me.
There's way too many factions. I don't like it. I'm gonna let it play out a little bit. I'm gonna see what happens, because I like the idea of this. That we haven't seen anything from the Butcher and the Blade since they've debuted. Really, we never really got. So I think this might be a chance to showcase them a little bit. And obviously, Pentagon, Phoenix, and Ray are great. So with what they add with the lucha style, I think it could be interesting. But like you said, there's a lot of factions, a lot of groups. It almost seems like the Inner Circle is eventually going to fall to the wayside. They've been doing less with them lately, and even though we got the stuff with Jericho, it's just been Jericho, not the Inner, as where they used to all get time to really be focused on in the group.
Yeah,
I feel like lately it's just been the Jericho show. So
yeah, a little bit. They're
I didn't
taking
care
a
for
little
any of the
bit.
Jericho stuff tonight. Him being the condescending, smarmy asshat that usually works, but I just don't want to see another match between these two. And a mimosa match doesn't really, make me mark out.
Yeah, it's a little mail it in at this point. I think I'm gonna wait to see it. But
I feel like we saw everything we could out of these two with the last match. The first match was really good. The second match wasn't as good as the first, but it was still good. And it was good to see Cassidy get the win. Now, what's left to accomplish here? All right, it's the rubber match. We've got this feud, but it felt like the feud was all but done at this point. And then the subsequent beatdown that we got as well, that was unnecessary to me too. Like, how many times can they beat the hell out of Orange Cassidy? How much more heat do you need?
I really don't get it. I think it's really just to end up. Jericho's going to end up in the mimosa screaming. I mean, that's
what it comes, and that's the way to win: pinfall, submission, or throwing each other in the giant vats of mimosa.
Right. So, like, Orange Cassidy is going to beat Jericho by throwing him into the mimosa, or even if Jericho wins, then he'll get thrown into the mimosa. So it's just, I mean, it definitely feels weak to me compared to everything else. But you know what? I think that, this is taking a little bit of a backseat, the Inner Circle, and, this isn't a win exactly, but at least it's something. So we'll see what happens. Not very interesting, but we'll see what happens. And a lot of people said that. But you know what? Jericho's hit so many home runs in the past year that hey, listen, sometimes you do 100 things, and
not all of them are going to be 10
right.
out of 10.
I've done this a million times myself. I've come up with all these different ideas on this show and everything I've done.
Oh yeah, you and I have had tons of stinkers for it. But to me, All Out doesn't have anything that I'm like, wow, I can't wait to see that. As where last year, it was a stacked card. Even the year before, with All In, and I don't know. I just, as of right now, Ricky Starks and Darby Allin will be entertaining.
That was my second favorite thing of the night.
That'll be like a car crash. We'll see those two, and
I liked that. I liked the guy Starks coming out and mocking Darby. I thought was really good. I thought it was funny. It was good.
Yeah, the Hobbs match was okay that they had, and then you got a really nice coffin drop. Darby Allin gets the win, and then Taz grabs the mic, comes out, starts mocking Darby Allin, saying that he's just nihilistic, and you're nothing but an emo that talks about darkness and reckless, and all you care is about your skateboard and your thumbtacks, and your life is a joke. So that's when Brian Cage sneaks up behind him and hits him with the F the World title, and then Starks comes down and has his look basically. And
I like JR's questions to him too, like when is it enough, and do you need two guys, and these little questions that JR was throwing out to Taz, I thought were kind of funny. So
he doesn't need to paint to be somebody because he's absolutely Ricky Starks. Then he hit him with the skateboard, and he landed a really good coffin drop of his own on him.
Well, it looked horrific. It didn't look good though. Darby.
I thought it looked painful as all hell. It wasn't supposed to look. Like
it looked like it hurt. Yeah, it didn't look like
it hurt though.
When Darby jumps up in the air, he gets like air and comes down, and it looks pretty good. But yeah, Starks's looked like he might break a rib doing that move.
Like he was coming down with full impact.
I know you got to get out of here. Is there anything else you want to say before you got to go? I know you got to run.
I'm trying to look through and think if there's anything else really. There was just a lot of tag matches that slowed the night down.
What about the women's tournament? I didn't think that really panned out too well, but
no, that didn't work out well at all, unfortunately.
Again, but poor women, they just can't. The women in AEW just can't buy a fucking thumbs up.
They can't buy a victory. They can't, buy a trophy either. FTR and Private Party, that match was a bit too long and really was nothing special. You knew that FTR was going to win. So it just never really felt like it got to that next level. Never bad,
but wasn't that great either. The FTR and Private Party usually never bad, and they weren't. But
Lucha Bros and the Butcher and the Blade taking on the Natural Nightmares and Jurassic Express, again,
forgettable.
Yeah, it was just okay.
Right.
I know they try and make it seem like, it's very chaotic and there's all these things, but it was just everybody waiting for spots. And it was very noticeable at times.
The one thing about AEW with that works for them is, especially during the pandemic with no audience, that kind of stuff does keep you interested. Like, okay, I'm still watching, whereas WWE is still trying to do the, like, semi-methodical, like, run-of-the-mill matches. And that's why WWE is so boring, because the build-ups and the little methodical things they do don't work unless it's epic, and they don't work because there's no crowd to feed off it anyway. So this is the situation where this kind of gung-ho crazy style where some people aren't selling and things are just happening everywhere kind of works out for them, because you're like, okay, there's no crowd, but wow, this is kind of crazy.
Absolutely. And I mean, what else do we have? And then we had our third match of the night, and it was another tag team match. It was a 6-man tag. So we had the Elite taking on the Dark Order. So we had Reynolds, Silver, and I think it was number 5 there. Who's that? Alan Angels, I believe it is.
Yeah, I'd forget the name too.
I believe that's him. And I did like how Kenny Omega went to continue the assault afterwards. He was gonna do his finisher onto the chair that he set up, and Matt stopped him, and they had a bit of an argument. So I'm like, ooh, I still like seeing this darker side of Omega. So that was interesting as well. But at this point, I was so tired of.
It's almost like Kenny Omega is so far behind that he's like doing this. Is because he's so far behind, he just doesn't want to stop when he's ahead. Like, so it's.
Yeah,
I like that.
Absolutely, because
Kenny has had such bad luck that when he's doing well, he's still going. So that I buy that as, because Kenny doesn't really work to me as a heel much, but the idea that he wants to keep winning when he's winning is interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense. That bit of motivation really goes a long way for his character. And then we had the other surprise that I knew about as well, but Thunder Rosa is going to be at All Out. So I should correct myself. I am excited to see her fight against what's her name, Sheeta.
Yeah,
So
okay, little promo, not the greatest thing, but I was just excited to hear Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, wasn't the best promo from her, but
yeah, but
she does better
exciting
in front of an audience.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I just love her. So we love Thunder Rosa, and she said the things that we've been saying. That like, hey, listen, the division's a mess, and she's actually saying like, hey, yeah, we know that, so I'm going to come and help you.
Yeah,
which is
she's
weird.
Like, I am a champion. My belt is worth just as much, if not more, than yours. By the way she was saying it, and I like that. I like that she still talked up NWA and said, but I'm going to take your belt as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like we said, the women didn't do so well. I don't know what it is. I didn't really watch the tournament that much, so that's a problem.
I did watch it, and it wasn't worth watching. It was, literally after I turned it off, I was like, wait, who won that match? That's how forgettable it was.
Wow.
The matches were very sloppy and worse than what you saw on TV. Far worse. The matches were just very, very bad for the most part. There were a couple moments or maybe one match that was okay, but even then it was just subpar okay. This match that we got on TV with Brandy and Allie taking on Ivelisse and Diamante was okay. Wasn't terrible, but I'm surprised that Brandy lost. I actually...
Oh my God, are you serious? Like you thought she was... If she won, that would have been like a rage.
I figured it would enrage the audience, but she was going to go for it anyways.
Oh my good God. If Brandy and What's-Her-Face had won, they're terrible. Like, I mean, they're not terrible, but they're... Like
they're not on the level that Ivelisse and Diamante are.
Yeah, so. Oh my God, if Brandy had won, it would have been a nightmare. No pun intended.
And there's even talk of women's tag titles possibly being added.
Please no.
They don't have enough
God no. Please not.
On their women's division now with the singles. God. They need to work on their women's division as is.
The women's division is horrible. I'm sorry, AEW. I love you. Your women's division sucks.
I will say that. I did like Britt Baker's promo. That was funny.
Yes, Britt Baker was great.
Free dentistry work. Kip Sabian, Penelope Ford. She's going to give them free makeup from her assistant, and all these things to sweeten the pot to help her take out Big Swole. So that was good. Again, building her character.
Brandy
feels like too soon for her to come back, but
yeah, I was just going to say about Brandy is like. I really think we think Brandy is great in many ways and talented and all these things, and
got a great mind for business.
She's definitely somebody who it's like it's kind of like amazing she's able to perform and do things in the ring, because I don't think she's that good, but but the fact that she's able to pull some things off in the ring are impressive. If you look at Brandy as somebody who probably shouldn't be in the ring, then when you see her in the ring, you're like, that's pretty good. Like, she's pretty good. But if you look at Brandy as someone who's a wrestler, then you go, ooh, like what's like she like a little shaky, a little awkward at times, but she pulls things off. But yeah, just the fact that it came down to her, and then what's the other girl? Kate, I forget her name now. I always forget her name. The girl came from Allie. Allie's kind of bizarre too. Like, and so for them to be in the end of the tournament, it was just weird. Like, I don't understand. But Ivelisse and they wanted to put them over for something because they're probably gonna start featuring them somehow. But please, no tag belts. Your women's division is so bad. Like you can't even get. What are we doing? Like, we need to focus on the title.
Just get the division singles side picked up. I mean, that was the problem for me for this show too. That there was just so many tag matches. There was 4 out of 6 matches being tag teams, and it's not 2-on-2. It's multi-man tags.
Right.
So it gets a bit tiresome.
Oh God!
I do have to get out of here, unfortunately. Really quick, I'll give you. I would give the show a 6.5. The ratings, they drew 755,000 viewers for the Saturday show, so down about 40,000 roughly from the week before. So not that bad for it being a Saturday show and only losing about 4 or 5% of your viewers isn't bad. Now, to be surprised, Raw did very well last night.
What?
Last week, Raw got a 1.64.
Yeah.
Last night, Raw got a 2.02.
Wow. I mean, well, coming off of SummerSlam, that's why.
Coming off of SummerSlam and the Thunderdome.
Dominic, it's the night after SummerSlam. That number will shit itself next week.
I wonder if the Thunderdome's making a difference at all with some people.
It's not. It's the night after SummerSlam.
I'm sure that's the case in point, but
oh yeah, it is. That's all I'm going with. It's the night after.
The Thunderdome aided in ratings on SmackDown as well, so
yeah,
that's why I'm curious if that's adding in, and it's only partially inflated from SummerSlam.
Raw will go below 2 next week.
Yeah, because it was just at the line, the 2.028.
Yeah, if it will. Oh yeah, then it will go. It will be at like 1.8 next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll go down even lower probably if they don't do anything good. So it's just, dude, look at the night after SummerSlam every year. I mean,
oh yeah, after most pay-per-views they get an uptick.
Right.
But it was almost 400,000 viewers more, so I was surprised.
I'm sure the Thunderdome thing probably added 50,000 people. 50,000 people were like, I got to see what this looks like, and that's about it.
Yeah,
I got to
believe.
Makes
sense.
I really Yeah, I have a hard time saying it about Brandy. People, it is bad. It's not. It wasn't. I didn't say she was great. I'm not lying. I said it was bad. I mean, it's funny how people in the chat, this guy, don't bullshit or whatever. What do you mean bullshit? I just said she's not good. Like, it's not good. It's the things suck. They had a tournament. It was horrible. Like, what do you want me to say?
Tournament was bad. A lot of the ideas and stories they've tried to run with have been bad. It's just a lot of work needs to be done on that women's division. So. All right, I got to go here. Have a great night tonight on Throwdown. Everybody make sure you check that out on Corrupted Podcast YouTube channel. And I will see you all tomorrow for the NXT review, and then Thursday for the jam-packed AEW Dynamite review / out of nowhere / payback predictions. So a lot of stuff coming up this week. And then Joe and I still have some preview shows for the breakdown of the Batman trailer to get to and some other stuff. So,
all right, Jake, we'll see you, man.
All righty, take care.
All right, I ain't going nowhere, though. We're going to continue. There's more to talk about, and got donations I got to play here. Hear what you guys have to say about it, and I got a bunch, and I got some news here, too. This is weird. But, yeah, so, listen, she's not good. I've said it a million times. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do, like bury her or something like that. I've ranted about it before. I think she's a great manager, great spokesperson for the company. I think she did great at the end of AEW Dynamite. Brandy did a great job. I think she does some things really, really good. But in the ring wrestling, it's just not. It's not the best. It's not good. It's like but she can do things, but it's like it's not good. And the fact that they were in the finals, her and Allie, that just to me was a joke. Like, how are they the ones in the finals for this? I don't know. It just didn't. So I never thought they were going to win at all, because I was like, if they win, they're just going to get hammered by fans and people, and which is too bad. But in a way, it's like, well, what do you expect? I mean, you're having a tournament for the best tag. I mean, I don't know. And also, Jon Moxley cut a promo, but it was almost like he wasn't there. Jon Moxley is that AEW World Title is fading away. What is going on with the AEW World Title? Jon Moxley just cuts these promos with this belt. I mean, you would think the AEW title is like the hardcore title or something that Moxley every once in a while from a playground does a promo for. It's like, dude, this belt needs to be defended once in a while. Like, once in a while, show up with I mean, what is going on? So right now, the TNT belt almost feels like it means more than anything, and that's not good. Which is the first time I've said that. Because the AEW World Title meant everything. It was so important when Jericho had it. And now it's like, where is this belt? I'm really concerned for the AEW World Title. It feels like the TNT belt means everything. Every week we see it. It's very important looking. This is what happened with it tonight. And, oh yeah, there's an AEW World Title, but where is that? So it's weird because normally you want the TNT belt to be the one you see on TV more, and the AEW is defended less, so it's more prestigious. But I'm starting to shift on that now, and I'm starting to feel that the AEW World Title is a little MIA, bro. Like, where is that belt? Where is that belt? Every week we see Moxley just basically like, look at belt. Look, I'm here with this belt. Dude, there's a problem. I'm sorry, there's a problem. They're starting to lose me with that belt. Major issue. That's I just thought about it too, so it's just now popping into my head that belt needs to show up again.
Super Chat Party.
Dan and Cora, what's
AU
up?
still is better than any WWE show lately.
Oh, yes. I 100% agree with you. AEW was entertaining, man. It took me 4 hours to watch it today, so that was kind of a pain in the ass, but so I'm a little bit, grimy about that, but definitely better. Yeah, AEW beat WWE. They beat NXT. Absolutely. I thought AEW was a 6 out of 10 this episode. I'd give this episode a 6 out of 10. If the Cody thing didn't happen at the end, it would have been the worst rating I've ever given AEW though. But the Cody thing at the end saved it for me from making it a 5 to a 6. So they're lucky they did that. But still, even with that, they still would have beat WWE in my opinion. They could have not had Cody. I still would have thought it was better. So that's how good AEW's been. Dan and Cora, thank you for the donation.
Super Chat Party.
Best one-night build of a faction I've seen in years. Brodie Lee was made emo. Anna J has been in wrestling for a little over a year and she's made.
Yeah, Anna J, I didn't even know or think about her at all, and she looked impressive the other night. It was like Mortal Kombat or something. Like it was like a scene out of Mortal Kombat. Like Shang Tsung and all his followers just beat the crap out of somebody. Evan Wright, thanks for the $5. Canada, baby. Who should take the belt from Mox? Rose Montana. What's up, Rose? I don't know. I just want the belt featured more. That's all I want. I don't know who should really take it from him, but something ain't working with it. I'll tell you that. When Jericho had it, it felt like the most important title in the world. When Jericho had it, it was like, wow, this is the most important title in the world.
Super Chat Party.
I told you weeks ago Joe Brody was winning title.
Mike Stinson, thank you for the donation. Well, wasn't it a spoiler like a week ago? I mean, did you spoil it for me, you piece of shit? Unbelievable. Good Lord. Cronin is 21 years old when he shaves. Am I really 21 looking? I'll take that. I'm almost 40, so I'll take 21. Am I really almost 21? Am I 21 looking when I shave? Good Lord. I mean, I'm gonna be. We're only about 3 years away from 40. So, if that's the case, I'll take it. No, weeks ago, Mike Stinson says. Okay, man, then credit to you, bro. Yeah, credit to you, brother. I forgot. Oh,
the turkeys hate us?
Yeah, the new $12 donation. I get it. Yo, Ryan Romano.
What if they killed us and ate our children? What if the turkeys ate us? What if they filleted us? If the turkeys ate us, if they had to hate us, the Thanksgiving was a little bit different. Instead, the turkeys ate us. They gobbled us apart, but first they'd eat our nuts.
It's about time at that time of the year where the turkeys start running around in packs in my neighborhood. So this is really could be true. You know what I mean?
What if the turkeys ate us?
I can't express to you guys. I lived just outside of Boston since 1993, right? And so to live out here and see a pack of turkeys running around, it's kind of like what is going on?
What if the turkeys ate us instead of mashed potatoes? Instead the turkeys ate us.
Thunder Rosa showing up to challenge Shida at All Out was my favorite moment of the night, followed closely by Evilise and Diamante winning the women's tag team tournament. Love you, Joe and Jake. Shout out to the chat.
Ryan Romano, thank you. Thunder Rosa. I love Thunder Rosa, so I'm super pumped about Shida and Thunder Rosa. That is going to be fun. I hope it's going to be fun. I hope it's going to be good. I do like that they won the tag team tournament, and there's something maybe going on there, but again, I just didn't think it was very well done or whatever. I just didn't really care that much, so that's me. I'm glad you cared, though. I mean, I think a lot of people cared more than about almost anything the women had done, so that seems like a win overall, I suppose, but I just didn't buy into it that much, you know what I mean? But I like how Thunder Rosa's coming in, and she's the NWA champion, and we can be reminded of that, and she's so good anyway, this prestige. Shida, hopefully they have a really good match. I really hope it's really good, because if Thunder Rosa can't save this division, then
Smoke weed every day.
what the hell is going to save it?
I've been binge watching Raw and PPVS from 97 and 98 while I work. This is new to me because I didn't start watching wrestling until 2000. Also, I sent you a message on Patreon a few days ago. Let me know.
Okay, Will Tactics. I didn't read it yet, but I'll go read it after this. Yeah, that's a good time. I mean, dude, Raw. You should watch Raw from the beginning, like Raw from 93 and on, because it's amazing how Raw changes, and then how Raw becomes what it is in 97, and then 98 and 99, but 99 is arguably the best year. I just love 97 because it started getting so real and dark. And then in 1998, they really went with the beginning of the Attitude. And then, by 99, they had a lot more comedy going on and stuff like that. So those 3 years are pivotal. If you can, watching Raw 1997, 8, and 9. But I'd argue watching 96 too, to be honest. Maybe 96, 97, 98, and 99. And it will just keep getting better and better every year you watch it then. So it will really build into this wild crescendo. So, no, Jay Paula, AEW was on Saturday, but we couldn't review it with all the other wrestling going on. So, Mean Boy the Cat, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. What's going on? Pour him a beer. So me and Jake decided to come on today and review it. So Jake gave you his thoughts. He was really up against the time. He's got to pick up his wife and stuff like that. So, I would give AEW a 6 out of 10. I think it's one of the weaker episodes ever, but that ending was really good, and there's a few other things that were kind of good. FPW Wrestling, I don't know if they're really collabing together. I mean, they are, obviously, but, I don't know if it's anything official. It's just one of those things where I think they honestly called and said, hey, let's we need something. Hey, can we get Thunder Rosa and, bring your NWA title and everything. We'll play that into the story. I don't think it's a handshake business decision like, hey, NWA, we're going to feature your people and you feature us and we'll work together. But I think it's just more of a, hey, listen, let's feature your title and feature Thunder Rosa and, we'll have her on. And she may not even be exclusively signed to NWA. I don't even think that that's a thing. So they could have literally invited Thunder Rosa, I believe. And they could have said, leave the NWA title at home and don't mention that. So this is a concise, concerted effort to mention NWA. And I think that that's just them. I think that's them wanting to help NWA, but I think it's more them just wanting to bring in Thunder Rosa and keep it real. I think they want to keep it real. Give her the accolades. She's the NWA champion. Let's mention them. They're not afraid to mention the names. Some other people would be, especially, NXT has done that before, and WWE has done that in their own house with their own belts. WWE has done that with their own belts in NXT versus the main roster in a weird way. So I just think it's one of those things. Hey, we want Thunder Rosa. Hey, she's the NWA champion. Let's use that. Let's call Billy and be like, oh, Billy, we're going to even say NWA, and we'll put the belt on the show even and stuff. Okay, yeah, that'd be great. We'd love that. Okay, cool. We'd love it too. Let's do it. That's all it is to me. Let me see here. The damn dog's barking like crazy. What the hell's going on? Why is the dog barking? I'm looking at my phone to see if there's a reason for the dog barking. My dog will eat somebody. My dog will eat somebody's ass. Okay, so we talked about everything, I think, as far as wrestling goes. Yeah, I think Darby Allin, I think that segment was my second favorite thing of the night. And definitely the Cody and Brodie thing was the number one of this AEW. The Dark Order versus the Young Bucks, none of that stuff really mattered. And Eddie Kingston's promo, I'd probably give Eddie Kingston's promo number 3 of the night. And then I'd say Thunder Rosa surprising me number 4. But it didn't surprise me because I read the spoilers and saw the spoilers and everything, so it wasn't. It's hard to gauge a little bit because we did watch it taped, so that doesn't help. The post SummerSlam show drawed great numbers. Yeah, it was post SummerSlam. I'm not looking into it. Call me in 2 weeks and 3 weeks. We'll talk next week if the rating is that good, and we'll talk the week after that if that rating is good. I'm impressed that the AEW rating is as good as it is. 755,000 people. On a different night, at a weird time, on the weekend, for that many AEW fans to seek out and find AEW live, that's kind of impressive. That's pretty impressive. I would have said the number was going to be 580 to 600. I was thinking that they possibly would draw their lowest rating ever, and that maybe the rating, if not, the rating would be in the 680s or the 650s or the 600s. So I'm shocked that they got a 755. That's pretty damn good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not bad. So I'm pretty impressed by that. The Thunder Rosa Dome. I'm still tripping out on the Cody Rhodes on Joe Cronin show. Yeah, you can go back and watch Cody on my show from back in when the AEW came into Boston. Also, Veda Scott was on commentary, but it didn't feel like she did much. I don't know if that was, she was a little bit sort of overwhelmed with being the only female announcer. And then on top of that, it's like, there's four announcers. She got a little bit lost in the shuffle, but pretty cool that AEW called up Veda Scott, man. Big Veda Scott fan, called a lot of her matches. She's always been really cool to me. She's always seemingly finding a job somewhere in wrestling or getting booked somewhere. So I don't know how much she'll add or what she'll be able to do, really. But that was another thing we didn't really talk about because it was very quick. You would have blinked and missed it. Joey, ready for Thursday AEW? Yeah, so then AEW is going to be this Thursday, so we're going to be right back at it again with AEW. Nobody sells like Cody, maybe HBK. Well, I think nobody sells like HBK. Nobody sells like HBK, maybe Cody. I don't think that Cody sells like HBK. He doesn't really move the same way Shawn Michaels does, but he sells well. I like Cody. I like the way Cody sells. He kind of sells more like he's stiff in some ways, but he also is nimble and agile in other ways. So I love Cody in the ring. I think he's really good. He's my favorite. I think he's my favorite guy, man. When he comes out there with that belt, music really helps because it's very hype. Jericho as well. I still think Jericho and Cody are the top guys. Moxley and Omega still don't feel like they're guys, and so AEW has two main guys. Brodie Lee definitely feels like the number one heel in the company right now, though. I will say that Brodie Lee now feels like he is a force to be reckoned with and a dangerous guy. So, yes, Alex in the chat says, yes, I will, Alex, be doing an NXT review Wednesday. And then we'll move on to Out of Nowhere on Thursday, which will be a combination of Out of Nowhere and an AEW review with Jake DeMarco. So we'll be live tonight for Throwdown on Corrupted Nation, my other YouTube channel tonight. Then we'll be live tomorrow for the NXT review. Then we'll be live Thursday with Out of Nowhere / AEW review. And then Friday night is Monetize This. And we got to shout out the king of Monetize This. He is Bird. Bird2393 is the king of Monetize This and the king of the wheel. Hot Juicy Burger in the chat says, still waiting on AEW to fully unleash the cleaner. Yeah, I agree, man. It would be good. For the people that don't have the ability to donate and don't have money right now to donate or just don't want to, I guess, I'm going to go to the chat and just read some of the chat and try to give a real rapid-fire ending here to the show as I react to the comments. Am I going to watch AEW Dark and Impact and give us a review? I don't think so, Donnie Murdoch. I may watch AEW Dark, possibly. Impact Wrestling is always, I don't like to review them at all because they've always been scumbags to me, and they've always been scumbags in general, and their show always goes to crap. And yeah, why don't they can call Catman from New York to maybe give them a review, and then maybe he'll come and do commentary for them or something. Fuck Impact Wrestling. I used to do reviews for them all the time and talk about them, and they just treated me like shit. And I couldn't even get an interview with one of their subpar wrestlers. So I hope the owl burns in hell, and I hope the company goes out of business. Do I think Payback will be any good? Not really. I doubt it. I mean, maybe. It'll be something to watch, I guess.
Dad, look at my new shoes Auntie got me.
Oh, nice, baby.
Look, them even shimmer, 'cause look.
They do shimmer. Oh, yeah, cool. Would you get them at the store?
Yeah.
I like them. I like your overalls, too. Really cute. Give me a fist bump. Give me a fist bump. All right, go upstairs now.
So comfortable.
I told your brother I was working and I can't hang out with him right now, so go upstairs so he doesn't think I'm giving you special attention. Nice shoes though, I like it.
I love doing that.
I like your dances. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss the donation? No, I got the donations on. I don't think I missed it. I think we're fine. Well, at least you could review AEW Dark. Yeah, I might do AEW Dark. It's a possibility. Isn't it on at 6 though? You know. I've also got Throwdown coming up tonight too. So and I've got to clean up some more in here. I'm still working on this room. So that's been kind of weird. Doing all that. MJF is the best heel since Roddy Piper. I don't know about that, but he definitely is one of the best talkers in a while. And definitely one of the best. I wish he'd have a few more $1 Million Man / Roddy Piper moments where he, cracks someone in the head or did something like that.
Here we go. Oh, no.
Do you truly it's Moxley's fault the title feels the way it does, or the fact the pandemic hit right when he won it?
Drew Bar 100, thank you, man. Super chat. Thanks, man, for the $5, Drew Bar. I don't think it's entirely Moxley's fault. I think it's partially he got a staph infection at one point. There was the pandemic. But, he was a little subpar in WWE as a champion as well. And I don't know why, but yeah, I don't think it's entirely that, though. I just don't think I think he works better like having feuds with people, like blood feuds with people. I don't think he's really a guy who should be walking around with a title. I think Moxley is a guy who should be walking around with blood feuds. And that's the way I feel. The way him and Kenny Omega had their match, the way he's had matches with others. That was the most interesting stuff that Moxley did. Everybody cried their little bitch boy tears about, oh, maybe it was too violent. Oh, maybe it was, this is wrestling now. Oh. Like, it was a bunch of crybabies because that's the best thing Moxley's done in AEW. So Moxley's a good promo. He's a great guy. I like him. He should be in blood feuds with people and dark feuds with people and weird promo situations, but the belt seems useless right now. I don't know why. It's not good. This is a mistake. Jericho should have just kept that belt. But whatever. That's hindsight 2020 type of thing. So, Joe, last time people made a big deal out of MJF when he made the speech at his podium, he literally stole the promo from Cornette shows. Yeah, I mean, listen, but he's good. I mean, they're friends. Him and Cornette are friends, so that makes sense. But MJF is good. Even without Cornette, he could cut a promo on Cotton Candy and it would be good. So, whether he stole that one or got an idea for that one or this one or the other one or whatever, the guy could cut a promo all day. So, it doesn't matter. The guy's still good. You know? But I would like to see MJF do a few more like $1 Million Man type of things. Do a few, you know, Roddy Piper things where he's a piece of crap. He really just right now is doing good talker stuff, which is great, but I want to see a little bit more. I like him. It's really good. I want more of it because it's so good. Outsider Kid 93. I remember when people bitched about that too. Effing crybabies about blood. Yeah, it was so goofy that people bitched about that. I was like, come on, dude, this is good. Give me a break. It was great stuff. Brodie Lee destroyed Cody. But it's the way that Brodie Lee destroyed Cody. The way they told the story, the way Cody got beat up, the way he sold his arm, the way it seemed like he got injured, and then he got decimated, but he still kicked out, and he was still kicking out, and then he lost. It was one of the more realistic burial type of things that I've seen. So I actually really liked it. I'm surprised. I thought I was going to just think it was like, okay, I guess they're doing this now. But they didn't. There was so many layers to it. It was really well done. So they make Brodie Lee look good. Even Cody looks good. Like, oh, you know, Cody had a bad night and he got really destroyed. And then the Dark Order made themselves look really dominant at the end, and it was exciting and weird. And so, you know, not bad for my 36 jaded ass to think that that's pretty good. That's not bad, man. You know, I'm not some wrestling fan up in the bleachers going, man, bro, I can't believe, bro. It's like, nah, bro. Like, it's hard to make me impressed by some stuff. It's hard to impress me over some things. I messed up the title, did I? Oh, I said Cody Rhodes destroyed Mr. Brodie Lee. Yeah, you're right. I did mess it up. You're right. That's funny. Thanks for telling me, though, because I got to flip-flop those. I trolled everybody. Cody Rhodes destroyed by Mr. Brodie Lee. Thanks, man. I'm an idiot.
I'm making sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania. Sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of an old wrestling anime called Kinnaiku Man? It's a crazy 80s about an alien wrestler fighting other wrestlers from Earth and other worlds. It's called Muscle in the States.
No, but that sounds hilarious, Bimbo Baggins. Thank you, Bimbo Baggins, for the $7. You know, a lot of that stuff back in the day when they used to do mockery stuff like that, or things that you would say, like, nowadays you'd be like, they're ruining the sport, they're ruining wrestling, oh my God, they're exposing the business. A lot of that stuff from the 80s when you see it and you go, but they did it back then, look, they did it back then. Well, back then, what with a lot of those things, people basically took that as it was Hollywood, or it was people using wrestling to make a fake show. So, like, there was people that would think, well, wrestling's real, but that show about the crazy alien guy, that's just them using wrestling as a mockery to make a show. So nobody thought that was exposing the business back then, really. They thought more that it wasn't the business. It was more Hollywood or a movie using wrestling themes, you know, or making fun of how wrestling's so over the top and stuff. But there was a lot of people that took it as, you know, that the wrestling's still real, but this is obviously fake and they're being silly and stuff. It'd be like if they did boxing, like Boxing Mutants or something like that. You know, you would be like, well, boxing's real, but this is like a mockery of boxing or whatever. So, but yeah, I've never seen that. I'm going to have to look that up. That's interesting. Ultimate Muscle, says the villain in the chat. I think I remember that, but it was a comic. Was it a comic too? Or I don't know why I remembered it as a comic. What were the thoughts on Sammy botched the chair shot to Hardy? Well, when he threw the chair? I don't know. I just thought if he really hit him, it just seemed like he was being a little bit reckless. And when things like that happen, if he really did throw that chair recklessly and hit Matt Hardy, like it looked like he might have, you know, it would have been one of those things where Matt in the back would have been like, dude, you can't just whip shit at people like when they're not looking. You know, you gotta, if you're gonna whip something like that, you gotta throw it slowly so you can see it coming, and then I'll sell it when it hits me. And they probably had a conversation like that if that really was how he felt, where it's like, dude, you know, you gotta, what's up? They want to show you the shoes. Oh, Brenna showed me hers. Well, they have them And Finn showed me his. Yeah, come show me your shoes. So then, it's one of those things. I already saw yours and I like them. They look pretty. I like it. You're going to trip over them for a while because they're so big, but they're a little big. That's good, though, because you grow into them and they fit you now. Hey, you get Spider-Man slip-ons? Nice, buddy. Give me a fist bump.
Gavin picked his out, but I haven't bought them yet. I wanted to show you first.
Okay.
He picked his out, though. He, loves them.
Jake DeMarco just tagged you guys in a tweet. Sonya received more threats from unknown people this time. Are you serious, dude? Oh, those are cool.
That's what Gavin wants real bad.
Okay. MK Kratos, man, that's disgusting, bro. Are you serious? Dude, it's at the point where, I want all the wrestling fans to go to Sonya's house and then call up, let the guy show up, and then we just beat the hell out of him. But yeah, they kind of worked it, so I don't really think that Matt Hardy had any kind of a problem with Sammy Guevara at all. I think they're working together, dude. I mean, come on. It's still real to you. Drew Barr says, liberal Leah. What's up, Drew Barr?
That's it?
Yeah. That's your name, I guess.
I had a question about these two.
Okay.
You bought Adidas, right, before?
I wore Vans, and I wear Adidas hats.
I'm trying to figure out what size to buy.
Probably his normal size, because he's got skinny feet.
The thing is, he's got wide feet.
He does?
His shoes right now are a size 4, but they're all stretched out. Andy said they're a little tight, so I was going to go 5.5.
Just get him bigger ones.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's going to grow into them.
That's what, should I get him 5.5 if he's wearing a 4 now, but they're all stretched out?
Sure. Give him 5.5. You can't go wrong. Small is the problem.
This is a size and a half bigger than what he's wearing now.
Yo, Nicky, what's up, bro?
Yo, what up, dog? I wasn't trying to scare you.
You scared the hell out of me, dude. I was like, what the hell am I
sorry.
hearing? I actually meant to get out of here. But no, go ahead, man. But real quick, before I get out of the chat, hit me up. What's going on?
Joe is God. I'm the weed god. I mean...
The weed god, baby. NickY J. Blunt.
You're kick-ass. I don't know what else to say.
All right. Well, there you go. I'm God. You're the weed god. And let's go smoke on a cloud.
Yeah, I was just popping in saying, hey, I don't really come in and talk to you much, but shit.
Yeah, man. It's been good to hear from you. I've shut down I really haven't played a lot of Diablo. I see you haven't either. And just been watching these. And I'm waiting for this damn molding to show up in my house so I can put the carpet in, put the molding in, and paint the room, and then put all the soundproofing back up and get back to normal in here. And it's like I'm still waiting for this damn molding to show up.
You had to order your molding, in the mail?
Yeah, I ordered it I should have just gone into Home Depot and bought it. Is what I should.
Is it like a roll of something, or is it like sticks of it?
No, it's just six 10-foot pieces. And
oh, okay, I got you. Cool.
Because it was cheap. It really was cheap. But I want to put the molding in because there was no molding before. So when the carpet was down, you could see underneath the sheetrock a little bit, and
right.
Centipedes would come running out all over the place, and little beetles and stuff are in the basement. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna eliminate that from happening. I'm gonna put molding up, silicone the bottom. Anyway, I'm waiting for that, bro. But yeah, good to hear from you, dude. And shit, I don't know. I'll catch you later, bro. Good to hear from you. I love you, dude.
I'll donate you. You know me.
I know, baby.
I'll see you.
$25 producer.
And 420 brat brat.
Thanks, bro. NickY J popping in here randomly. I forget exactly what I was talking about before Leah came in. She wanted to show me all the kids' shoes. Their aunt bought them shoes, I guess, and so now she's gonna buy Gavin shoes. Shout out to Auntie for buying the shoes. Because shoes are damn expensive. Joe, you should have gone to Hollywood when you can be this crazy character on your show, but such a good father. Oh, I get what you're saying. You can't go to Hollywood now with yeah, it's weird. My daughter could be in Hollywood, but oh my God, dude, I would have to guard her like crazy. Because she could definitely be like some kind of, oh my God, dude, she could be in commercials and she could be an actress. It's crazy. What's up, Jerome Spicer? Anything else? Vince McMahon ripped up the script. Yeah, so I saw that about Vince ripping up the script. I mean, maybe it makes sense why Raw was so bad. the other night, and Keith Lee looked ridiculous. I don't think we need to go back over that. I saw people today being like, dude, are you guys really that mad because his music changed? It's like, yeah, his music changed. He looked like a cheerleader, and he didn't sound very good, and he moved slow in the ring in his match with Orton. Like, it was a lot of bad things. It was a lot of bad things. And it's all Vince's fault. You know, mostly Vince's fault. So, and the guy was like, Vince loves the guy, though. He called him up. Yeah, I know that, but Vince also doesn't know what he's doing. He makes bad decisions for people now. So I'm not saying Vince McMahon hates Keith Lee. I'm saying Vince McMahon doesn't know how to handle anybody, and he ruined him. He ruined him. We didn't say he hates him. We said he ruined him. And people are like, but he likes him. Yeah, he likes a lot of people that he ruins. Junebug, thank you for becoming a $25 patron again. And below, all the $25 patrons have been scrolling this entire time. So shout out to them for going above and beyond and dropping a crazy $25 a month on Patreon. Without you guys, we would be in trouble. You know, there's obviously a lot of $1 patrons, $2 patrons, and $5 patrons, but $25 from 33 of you guys is saving the show. Hangman ain't turning on anyone. That'd be stupid. He's over as a face, says Anad in the chat. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm just enjoying whatever he's doing. We don't know what he's doing. He's drinking. He's tweening a little bit, but it's kind of entertaining, so okay, I'll take it. Jerome Spicer says he's mad about the music. Well, a lot of people called me racist because I didn't like Keith Lee the other night. I mean, go figure that. I'm sitting there telling you how much I love Keith Lee for the last 2 years. Love Keith Lee. Can't wait for Keith Lee. Yes, I am a racist because all of a sudden, now that Keith Lee has gone to Raw, I decided to say that was bad. Yes. Ignore me saying how excited I was to see him on Raw. Ignore me saying how awesome he is in the ring and how I enjoy him the last 2 years. Ignore all of that. And when he goes to Raw because McMahon murders the guy, it's literally the opposite of racism. But that's how programmed and stupid people are in our society now, is they just yell everything's racist. You wish you knew real racism, you stupid retard idiots. I'll take you back in time to fucking 1800s and I'll show you some real racism, you fake outraged pieces of shit raised by no father, scumbag, Antifa mask-wearing piece of garbage who I hope gets run over by some crazy redneck asshole who doesn't give a shit. How about that? How about McMahon murdered Keith Lee the other night? You stupid idiot. The dumbest thing ever, bro. But that's how stupid people are now. Are you serious? It's like I got white people calling me racist to white people. And then I got other people calling me like, you can't, what is, you're all stupid. Like, this whole world is dumb. Like, that's how dumb people are. You can't win. And that's why I hope people suffer in this society. I hope you do. Because if you are going to literally just be outraged about everything to where you're being hypocritical, you're contradicting yourself. So I'm just a bad human. I hate everybody. So I hate everybody equally. That is true. I hate everyone equally. That is true. You're welcome. Anyway, that sums up America for you right now, or at least our country, maybe around the world too. Unbelievable. I'm not even talking about Matt the Misfit. I still like Matt the Misfit. I think he was just pissed off. I'm talking about other people like legitimately saying things like this, like bizarre. But and I've been praising Bianca Belair, who blocked me. I don't know why she blocked me on Twitter. Been praising her. Maybe I will just crap on these people. Maybe they do suck. Maybe I will start hating on these people, because it's like the people that, it's like the guy who was at the BLM rally the other day, then got kicked in the face and knocked out and almost killed by his own people that he was supporting. It's like they eat their own. Why don't we just call it what it is? Bad people being horrible. Like, people calling me this or that. You're a bad person. You're a bad person. That's all there is to it. So I'm supposed to never say anything bad about any wrestler unless they're white. You can suck my sperm in my balls. Okay? You can kiss my ass. And every time I say something good, you're going to say that I hate the white race. You know, I literally hope you die in a forest fire. Okay? I hope you die in a forest fire. Okay? And you know what? Sean Stacks, who I had to block on Twitter, Sean Stacks, you stupid moron who think that I love Jericho more than anything. You know what, bro? I don't love Jericho more than anything, but he's one of the top stars in AEW, and that's just a fact. Without Jericho, they would have been in trouble, okay? So you know what, Sean Stacks? I hope you die in a canoe accident, okay? I hope you die in a goddamn canoe accident. You son of a bitch. I don't know, man. Why don't you go stalk Sonya like that other idiot? Yeah, so we thought that they put the stalker's face of Sonya Deville in the crowd the other night, but it was faked by somebody, which now we're getting a bunch of that. So now not only are we seeing KKK imagery, which is creepy, and we're seeing Chris Benoit, we're seeing all these other people in the SummerSlam shots and WWE, but now we're getting people who are faking seeing somebody, and so now we're going to deal with that. It's just ridiculous. AEW is trying to go the other way with bringing more people into the crowd, something I think that they'll be more successful with. If you can put packs of groups of people in different areas. We saw Tony Khan tweet about that recently the other day when Tony Khan said, hey, listen, we know you guys are buying up tickets and then selling them. You're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be for people who know each other, families and groups, to sit next to each other in these areas to better help with the coronavirus, the deterring of the spread. So we're going to be, banning those people or taking the tickets and things like that. So interesting stuff from that. Well, Jerome says, Joe, I'm black. I got your back. You've always said Keith Lee was good in the ring. You're not a racist. F that guy. Well, Jerome, most of these people are white who say this. It's not black people. It's white people are crazy. White people are crazy. It's true. They're crazy on either side, Jerome. You are right, but it's not even, mostly it's not black people, it's white people who say this. White people are nuts. You got some white people telling me you're racist because you don't like Keith Lee. I do like Keith Lee. I don't like how he's presented on Raw. Come on, man. Then you got other white people saying that I hate the white race and I'm sucking up to the black people. So it's like, what? That shows you how messed up this country is right now and how messed up wrestling fans are right now. The majority of us know that this is all bogus. Anyway, I'm not talking anymore about it because it's so stupid. It's just it's a minority of idiots is what it is. Fill up the whole stadium. F it, says our RJ Scum. I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. It's natural human instinct now that a lot of people are bailing on the virus and saying, hey, I'll get it or I won't, and I don't care anymore. I don't care if old people die. There's a lot of people saying that, and it's really that you got to remember we're trying to protect the older people and some of the people who are compromised, people that shouldn't die, people that should live another 10 years, people that should live another 20 years. That's who we're really trying to protect more than anything. The chances of a lot of us, getting it or kids getting it and getting sick and hurt are so minuscule. But I think it's, we're looking out for people with sickness or people compromised and the health workers who have to deal with it. That's what I think that's the only reason why we haven't fully said, I think, forget the whole damn thing. Let's just go back to complete normal and forget it. So I think that's a big reason why. I don't know. Outsider says, I'm black. You're cool. I don't agree with you on your videos, but you never attack you for calling you. Yeah, I mean, I've said some bad things, Outsider, too. I've said I've said things that you could be like, wow, that guy might be messed up for saying that. I've said some racist jokes. Like, I've said racist things. Like, I have said some bad things that I would never believe in or really say or teach. My kids love everybody, and I teach my kids to love everybody, and I do. And sometimes I've made a couple jokes. I would never apologize for most things because like it's just a joke or it's just to pop people or to have fun and whatever else. But there's been maybe like a couple things in the past where I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. That wasn't really funny. It wasn't funny. If it was funny, it would have been different, but it wasn't that funny. It was just crazy. So, I don't know. But this is stupid. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. This is really dumb. Keith Lee, I mean, the guy is awesome. I love Keith Lee. That's why I'm angry. If I didn't love Keith Lee, I'd be like, haha, looks like a cheerleader. No, the guy looks ridiculous. The WWE ruined him, and nobody can argue this. Nobody can argue this. We loved Keith Lee. We were super excited with Keith Lee. You can go back and watch my videos. Last 4 weeks, Keith Lee, cool, he's coming. I actually can't believe that we didn't say, well, he's going to be ruined anyway, so forget it. I actually didn't say that, though. I thought, well, I bet you they'll get him right, because they got him right when he came up last time. But then here he is, shows up with a tight shirt on that looks weird, and then a dress. And that just doesn't look like Keith Lee. He looks goofy. The guy on the right looks like Keith Lee. There's no arguing that. Rest in peace, movie theaters. I hope not. I hope not. Velveteen Dream is innocent until proven guilty. I agree. I want to bring the real proof that Velveteen Dream did something. But I still think WWE should elaborate so that they can get some of these fans to move on who are trying to go after him. And I mean, it is weird though that these people are still coming out. There's a story all about it everywhere. I don't know. He legit showed up in a skirt. It's weird. It's just like Rusev, dude. Yeah, he didn't get Rusev. Oh, they're making fun of you, Rusev. They're mocking you, Rusev. Yeah, they ain't mocking Rusev. They're not mocking Rusev. They were cheering for the guy in some capacity, Vince. Oh, they're just mocking you. You're an idiot. We're going to talk about that tonight, Devious Dave Rose. We're going to talk about that tonight on Throwdown over on my other channel, Corrupted Nation. And they changed his theme, too. His theme was awesome before. What the hell? What are they doing? So anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. But I'll see you tonight for Throwdown. AEW, I thought, was a 6 out of 10. Not a very good episode of AEW, but it had a couple of really good moments. And overall, it was better than NXT and WWE. So AEW, again, slight thumb sideways up for me. Brodie Lee looks awesome. Cody Rhodes did well. The whole segment was really good at the end. A couple other really good things too as well. And that's it, man. I will see you. I shall see you tonight for Throwdown. Thanks to everybody who dropped a donation during the stream. Much appreciated. And I'm going to leave with my new theme music. Shout out to the chat. Come on! Jericho in a mimosa match. A little ridiculous. What up, Ryan Romano? Thank you, Ryan. If you guys want to support the channel, the best way to do it is to go become a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Jesse and Drew's show's coming back for episode 3. Leah and Monica's show debuts this week. Plus Corrupted is Saturday night's Corrupted podcast. 30 hours of content a month on Patreon you don't hear on YouTube. 340 patrons. Check it out. To smoke up and you about to choke. I'ma wrap this rope around your throat. You know you're a hoe. I'ma hang you though like it's 1840. You're gonna be with me tonight. I'm gonna treat you like a dyke on fire.
I'm gonna put you out with water, you lie. I'm gonna bury you in the ground. I'm gonna stab you with a knife and drag you through town like Antifa would. Light the fire, I'll be all you desire. I got pubes, I got lube. Let's get ready, wanna fornicate with your boobs. On the tube tonight, on a pay-per-view fight. Grab my fucking flashlight. I jerk myself off at work in front of my coworkers. Nothing you can do, call me a jerk. HR doesn't care, I'm wearing underwear. And Leah came over and gave me an evil stare. She's looking at me now, kinda depressed. I'm saying this, yeah, I don't care, I just pissed on the floor. Lick it up, you whore, you bore me more. I'm gonna smack you, then have some s'mores. Bye.